When the channel hit 200,000 subscribers not too long ago, I told you guys I would do a little giveaway on our next merch drop. So this Saturday, April 18th at 10 a.m. PST, we're having a merch drop with the Stay Committed hoodies. We're having banners, jet tags, stickers, all the good stuff for you guys. For one of you lucky guys, you are not gonna have to pay for anything. So it's really simple. All you gotta do, follow me on Instagram, follow the Committed Crew on Instagram, and then just go like this photo. If you do all three of those things, I will pick somebody Friday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which gives you 24 hours from when this video goes live. And for everybody else, don't forget the merch drop is April 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you don't miss it. Get on there, grab one of the brand new Stay Committed hoodies, and enjoy the video. So this morning, there's no puddle from where the rad was leaking yesterday. There's two new puddles over here, three new puddles over here. Honestly, I don't understand. It might be something when we got rid of the AC and it might be like leaking out of one of the lines or something. I'm gonna have to jack this thing up later on and look at it. But today it's still a huge mess in here because we've been like grinding and cutting for the last 2 days. And instead of cleaning everything up, what I wanna do is I wanna just finish doing some cutting, grinding, welding, and all that kind of stuff today. That way I can like clean the shop up and keep it clean for a little while. So you guys saw in the last video, what we did was we got basically the front end is like tubed now, so we got the reinforcements coming down both sides, we got the rad support coming across the front, and then we got the hood latch pins installed right here. But we still have a lot of extra metal, so we picked up like 3 6-foot lengths because we thought we were gonna need a little bit more than we ended up needing for that, and we wanted to get one extra just in case we made any mistakes. So we actually have quite a bit. Like we should be able to build a pretty good bash bar with all this stuff. I kind of want to build like a little V on the bottom, some kind of like jack point or something that we can use. That way we can just like wheel right up to the front of the car with the jack and kind of like jack it up from essentially like right there as like a jack point instead of having to stick the jack all the way underneath. Should be good. It makes it easier, and like if we're ever at the track or something, it's just like a really simple and easy jack point. And if you guys didn't see the last video, we got an Eastwood high capacity tubing bender. I'm pretty sure this whole thing needs to be flipped because we're using this. We're using it backwards right now, but it still works nonetheless. We can still take measurements. This thing, super cool. I'm very excited to have this. You guys know I've always talked about wanting to be able to like fab my own stuff and build my own stuff and not have to worry about like relying on buying one or relying on someone else, and just like the experience and all that. And it was super fun to build this, so I'm excited to keep going with it today. So I think for starters for this thing, what we're actually gonna do is, this is the Genesis bash bar. We got a bunch of hardware and stuff in here. And when we put the front bumper on, I remember this thing was hitting just a little bit. It's just like a little bit bulky, I think is the problem. Oh, that fell on my toe, dude. That fell right on my toe. That is why shops wear steel toes. Yeah. Damn. The bash bar. You guys can kind of tell, I don't know actually if you can tell too much, but the bumper is kind of sitting like this. It's kind of kicked up, and you actually can see in here beautifully now that we don't have that rad support. So it looks like pretty much this guy just sticks out just a little bit too far. So I'm thinking it can still be the exact same shape, same design. Everything can be this pretty much the same. It just can't come out as far. If we made this, oh yeah, I honestly think that's it. If I'd make this the exact same, but I bend the tube on the inner side of this, it should 100% fit because we're losing like 1.5 inches. And now I have a little bit of flat stock also. This is not long enough to make 2 feet, but I also said I want to make like a little V right here as a jack point, and I would like to use this as a foot. So what I'm actually gonna do, I'm sure this isn't as ideal. It's what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut the feet off this bash bar and just reuse these feet because these feet already line up perfectly. The holes are drilled. They're ready to go. A little bit ugly, but when we're done with it, I think it's gonna be fine because eventually we're gonna have this all painted. I cut just little squares that were basically the same size as what's right here already. So this will kind of weld like that, which is good. So that'll give it some extra strength, right? That's like the main purpose of it. Yeah. It's just like kind of what we did up there and like what we did right here where we just added a little piece that we welded onto. So we'll put this guy here. But today Brad's working on his own car, so today all this welding is on me. So we have to do a good job so we don't have to grind it back down later. What the? What is this? How does that even happen? How come everything I touch lately has just been breaking? You want to see how we get perfect cuts? Mm-hmm. We took this is like a bearing from inside of an engine. It's over,
wow.
And you just go, and you just draw right around it. I don't really care how it looks compared to the other one. It's more because I know this one is like perfectly symmetrical. So if I line this up, it should be good. So what I did was like the dimple where it kind of starts to bend with that line. And then right here, dimple where it kind of starts to bend with that line. Ignore my Sharpie line. Sticks out pretty much the exact same amount on both sides of me. Thankfully, we started with something that needed like 3-4 bends all in the same pipe. That made doing something like this actually pretty easy. So we're gonna do 2 3/8. And then when we do like the groove to let the pipe in, it'll groove down to about 2 inches, I'm hoping, if I can do this right. I don't even know. Isn't there a name for like this groove though? Notching, a notching tool is what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can
get like a wholesale notching kit.
I feel like that's a good investment one day.
Yeah.
Because I just started with these were like 2 3/8, and by the time I got like, I ground the first one down so many times to get this to kind of like fit in there that by the time I did this piece is like 1.5 inches tall now. So it still works. I just had to make this one the same size, like cut them both down. But like, it's basically a trial and error when you're using a grinder. You just gotta like keep sending it until it fits properly, and you lose a lot of material. So I think if we're gonna keep going with things like this, a notching tool would definitely, one, speed that up, probably take that from like the last half an hour at least to like 5 minutes, and it would make it work way better. But I got both of these guys to the point where they hold each other, which is all they need to do. Nice enough for me. Oh, you're looking at them right now?
Yeah, the Eastwood one, 139 bucks.
Oh, that's not even bad at all. Oh, you can do angles.
Yeah. So basically it's just a hole saw on in a vise almost. It's like a drill press, hole saw with a vise.
So then you could do like the V, like what I want to do for the bash bar thing, and you could do, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tape's been kind of sitting there collecting metal shavings. It's not so good. Ready?
Yep.
Boom, and boom. Oh yeah, that's actually not bad. That's like right about where they need to be. I am holding it pretty high on the square, but I think I want to mount it as high up as we can to clear the bumper.
Yeah.
So let's just try it.
Right there?
Yeah, sure. That's my favorite.
More on this side. Eyes.
See, that just makes it look so much better.
It really does.
Like it really brings the whole tubing together. Oh, that looks pretty level to me. That looks actually really nice. It looks like it goes good with that rad support bar too. I'm on. How are you doing?
I'm on as well.
And you can't see it, right?
No.
Oh, that's nice. Does it look like, what is a woman's opinion on this?
I don't know. There isn't much of a woman's opinion to be had.
No?
It's just,
it is what it is?
It's a bar.
Alrighty, let's go back up. Dude, this actually doesn't look too bad, like stacking a couple of little tack welds on the end or whatever you want to call this. This looks pretty good. We capped this off and this whole piece is now done. Like, dude, that is fire. What makes me feel really good is one of my neighbors inside the warehouse complex, the guy that actually like helped me out that one time I like cut the tip of my finger. He came in here this morning, he does fabrication, and he's like, yo, this is looking really good for you guys, like learning and trying. He's like, you guys, he showed us a couple things we could do, but he's like, it's strong, it looks good, you guys are doing a great job, which makes me feel good, because like, to me, I think it's great, but I don't know what people who do this for a living think. Anyways, so now what I was thinking of doing was making like a little V, right? So it would be like you weld a tube here, and obviously cut it down, and then there's gonna be one on this side and one on this side. That would make for like a super easy jack point, but something that I was just looking at and thinking about was if we put a front mount intercooler on here, it might wanna sit right where that would be. And I think it would be a lot easier. Obviously right now we can use the jack. That's more for like when we go to the track. So before my first track day, I'll have to build something like that. But for now, I don't think there's a huge point in doing that. The last thing I wanna do is build all this and then I get a front mount intercooler and it doesn't fit, because I know a lot of them, like an actual front mount would go in front of this, so it's right at the bumper, and if I block all that off, then I'm kind of pooched. I think it's all gonna come in time, like as we learn and practice and add mods and stuff, it'll come. What I wanna do right now is, we can bring this down. One of the last things we have left to do right now is build those headlight supports, which I'm very excited for, because I think that something about having those headlight supports is gonna make this look really official, like really proper. something that I should do to make sure that we put the headlight tabs in the right places to have the bumper on. Which means we got to do bumper tabs, which I have not done yet. Does that look like a good body line? I'd say so. Give me the tape measure. That's roughly 2 inches.
This is kind of weird.
What?
Like,
yeah, so what I'm seeing is the inside of this has a little sag, which I could probably fix with just like I could probably get like a little tube, like a very thin, like what I use for the headlight supports. I could probably run something like that. I'm planning on just putting like those push pins through here. They always break. They always get like super dry and crispy, and then you go to pop them out, they break. So while I was doing this, I thought of like, recently found out that Brad has been keeping this hostage in here this whole time. Pretty sure the first time you guys saw this was in one of the Opal videos. This is such a cool thing to have. If this actually works, this will be very cool. I'll be very happy with myself. How dope is that? When I want to put the bumper on, when I take the bumper off, I just take it out. I don't have to worry about the push clips breaking all the time. I don't have to worry about the push clips kind of moving. And I can because this is all custom, I can line it up exactly where I need it to be and then just crank it right down. Then you put a tab right about here, right on where that weld is, and then another one pretty much lined up with right there. This looks so good. The headlight tabs, I actually forgot to cut this off before I finished. That's just my bad. But what I did was I actually tapped these guys also. So these are like the OEM headlight bolts. All of these things are threaded, which is extremely nice. Everything's super secure. Like the headlight, you could move the car with the headlight. That's what you want. And then as far as I'm concerned, I think this is for now enough to keep the hood. If we ever notice any kind of like looseness or flopping or anything, we will put that little triangle piece behind. I think what I want to do is just attach a little bar to the front of this mount and to the front of this mount and just kind of like run it like this up underneath the bumper so that it just kind of like lifts right here in the center a little bit. And I also noticed, I don't know what this is, I think maybe the rad support used to have a thing that will clip on here because the bumper right here has like this big black chunk behind it, super far in, and I don't know why. If you put your hand back here and just give it a little push, it sits like flush and nice like it's supposed to. So I think maybe the old rad support had something that bumper was kind of like touching, or maybe the headlight did before we kind of cut the headlight up the first time we installed it. Honestly, I'm not too sure, but I just have to like build something to bring this out a little bit. But yeah, dude, I'm very pleased. I'm a little bit sad that we didn't get to do the little V right here, but like I said, I'd rather do a front mount intercooler because that's supposed to sit right there anyways, and then do some sort of like lower mount or something. We'll figure out. I'm just happy that I can finally use these latches because I felt like such a dumbass when I installed them and then I couldn't use them. That is good stuff. Yeah, so at the end of all this, I think I'm really happy with how this all turned out. Obviously there's a couple mistakes and a couple things that we need to fix, and like nothing's ever perfect. And now that we have like the pipe bender, a little bit better knowledge on how to use the pipe bender, we have a little bit, I feel a lot better with the welder. I think that's a really key thing for me. I'm really digging the welding because I've always only ever done tacks. So I was really nervous to like lay down a full section, whereas now I can adjust things to what I know I can do, and I can just tear through a section of welding really quickly, and I'm very excited with that. And like I said, like in the future, something like that, like the bash bar, should really take just a couple hours once we have like the hang of it. And I would like to get one of those notching tools. That would be like so much better, make things 10 times better. So remember that the merch drop is April 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and also remember that if you guys enter, you guys can win something for the merch drop. So do not miss your chance. I'm gonna go clean now. I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay committed.